The war in Ukraine continues to rage on, and although most orphan children have been taken to Poland for safety, there are many families here waiting to bring their adopted children home. News 8's Mackenzie Mislin joining us now in studio with the story of one local family going through that process. Mackenzie?
That's right, Natalie. These orphans from Ukraine have been in Poland since March, but for some of them, they could be home with their new families in America. I spoke with a mother who has had some experience adopting from the country over the past few years, and she tells me it's worrisome being in this state of limbo. Waiting. It's not something local mom Jill Krenzer envisioned when she adopted her son Kyle from Ukraine. A mom of an already blended family of 6, she and her husband decided they wanted one more.
We tried for several years and ran into some fertility issues. We had a couple of failed infant adoptions, and I really thought our journey was over.
Then through a Facebook friend, they found out about hosting an orphan from another country for a period of time. Often, this process leads to families later adopting those children. The Krenzers chose a child from Ukraine.
A boy named Roman was the only one that really fit our criteria. And the strange thing was, he already had my heart cut from the pictures and the little video clip that they had, and he looks so much like my husband did when he was little.
The Krenzers hosted Roman, who later changed his name to Kyle, for 4 weeks over the winter of 2020. Then they started the adoption process, but due to the pandemic, that was pushed off until March 2021. And
this was meant to be my son. He is a riot.
But since visiting Ukraine and seeing the orphans, she knew there was still more she could do.
His best friend was on the list, and he was still on there, and no one had chosen him. And part of the reason why no one had chosen him is a lot of people had inquired, but when they found out he had a little brother with special needs, that if adopted, he would have to be adopted with. No one wanted to host him. Meeting Jan, the little brother, it was incredible.
She now finds herself waiting yet again in her process of adopting those 2 children from Ukraine, Vanya and Jan.
We got the okay, and within like 2 weeks, the war broke out. And all hopes of summer hosting were gone. Adoptions are on hold, hosting is on hold.
Krenzer adds if she had her way, she would also adopt a 3rd boy who is aging out of the system within the year. She says in Ukraine, once orphans age out, they are stamped as orphans for life and aren't given the same opportunities like other adults. In studio, Mackenzie Mislin, News 8.
Mackenzie, thank you very much. And in the fight to get their children to the States, the Krenzers and other families have lobbied with lawmakers in Washington, D.C. Their hope is to get Vanya and Jan home before the war worsens.